G'day, Mr. Fitz here, hope you're going well. This short tutorial is going to get you started in Autodesk Fusion. This is a go-to for first-time users. This tutorial we're going to be modelling up shape 1 from the rectangular block sheet. This sheet is a very good start to try your skills and try and model these shapes. Clicking over to Autodesk Fusion, this is the main interface of the CAD software. So you can see the view at the moment is on a bit of an angle. It's in a three-dimensional view. This whole space is where your design is going to come to life. Some other basics about the interface. Over here in the corner is a little graphic or a visual that shows you some various views and edges of a block to click on. You'll find by clicking on these it will turn your view. So you can press through the block to spin around your view. You can rotate your views. And this little one's really helpful for clicking on home. That'll return back to your home screen. So this is good for navigation. Always recommend students to get a mouse for your computer. You will find a trackpad is very slow. If you can use a mouse, you can use the buttons on the mouse to click and rotate. That's what I'm doing here. On the left, this is an area that shows information inside your model. So here inside the origin, if you turn this on, you can see these are planes that live inside the model. You've got an x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and this here is called the origin. So we can just turn them off for now so we don't have to see them, but we can click and utilize those in the design. Across the top here is our toolbar. You can see I'm currently in the solid. This is the one you'll use the most. There are other applications in this program for designing different kinds of products. Also in this space here, inside Fusion, you've got a lot of different options. So this is the main space for designing products and components. This is a pretty fancy new one called Generative Design. We don't use this one too often, but we look at this in the future. Rendering is for creating photorealistic images. Animation is pretty advanced. We can make machines move. Simulation is for testing of designs for strength. Manufacturing is what we'll use down the track for doing things like CNC machining. And there's also a part of the program used for creating two-dimensional designs. Down the bottom here are a series of really useful functions around the view. So particularly if you're using the trackpad, you can click on something like orbit, and it allows you to rotate your model. You can press escape on your keyboard to get out of that. You can look at a face, you can pan to move around, you can zoom in and out, and there's a few more advanced features here which we'll look at later. Down the bottom here is a clever little toolbar. As you start designing your part, this is going to start to record the features that you apply up here. So we'll look at that later as well. Now, every single design you create will always start with a sketch. So start by clicking on the sketch tool. The next thing it asks you is to pick a plane to sketch on. Now, for my part 1 that I'm going to model, I'm going to draw on the face that looks in this direction. It doesn't actually matter which face you choose, but let's make this look a bit like shape 1. So back to Fusion, I'm going to draw and sketch on this face. As you choose the face, it rotates you so you're looking directly at it. You can see here the origin is still selectable and you've got a bit of a dimension scale here. These should always be in millimeters, and you can always check that in your design as well under document settings. The default in the program is millimeters, but if they come up wrong or strange, just check that that's in millimeters. Okay, to do our first sketch, we're going to use the line tool over here. And my advice for when you're drawing a shape is to draw the rough shape. So start at the origin. This is good practice to always click here. Click once, bring your mouse up and click again. You can see that it's trying to put dimensions and other information on here. Don't worry about the dimensions for now. Let's just draw the shape looking from the side. So this is a two-dimensional shape of the three-dimensional part I'm going to create. Now you can see here that I'm going to bring this last line back to the start. That's going to create a closed loop. And you see, as soon as I finish that, it's going to shade that to indicate I've got a closed profile. Cool. Press on the escape key to get out of the line tool. Now you can see that these lines that I've drawn, if you click on these, you can drag them into place. They are all blue at the moment. Blue means that they don't have much information. So you can click and move that as you see fit. Now the next and one of the most important things of the design is to start providing this some dimensions. So the dimension tool is here. Sketch dimension, if your screen's a bit smaller, it might be under create, down the bottom sketch dimension, and you can also press D on the keyboard as a shortcut. So the information we need to give this is as per our design here. We need to tell it how long this length is, high that is, how long that is, and so on and so forth. So as we apply those dimensions, it starts to take shape. I would suggest the first dimension you should apply is the longest. So click on this bottom line, drag the mouse down and click. Type in the size, it's going to be 50. There we go. And keep on adding dimensions. So I know that this line here is going to be 10. This line here, let's double check what that's going to be. That's going to be 20. If you click on this one and make this one 30, you're going to see this little warning. It says over constrained. It just means that it doesn't actually need this dimension. Because this is 50 and that's 20, that has to be 30. So if you just do not show again and go create driven, you'll notice it puts it in brackets. So I can't actually change that, but that will change if I change one of these. Okay, the last one I need is this one here. Click there and make that one 20. You'll now see that my shaded area is all black. It's got all the information that is required. A few other things to point out. Press escape to get out of the dimension tool. These little icons here represent what we call geometric constraints. Things like lines being horizontal and vertical. Perpendicular means that lines are 90 degrees, so that line and that line are 90 degrees from each other. That one's vertical. So these were created as you drew your part, but we can add these later if they're required. Okay, that's good enough. This is all we need at the moment. So the two things we can do now, we can either finish our sketch to complete that one, or we can directly go over here and go solid and extrude. This is going to turn this into a 3D shape. So if I click on extrude, now the only problem I've got using this way is that I do want to move my model. If I go back to home, it makes it a little bit clearer to see. So now I can click on this face here, make sure that that's selected. That's going to be the profile here that I'm going to extrude, and I can simply click and drag this out into 3 dimensions. This toolbar here has a lot of useful features. The first time you build a part, it's going to be a new body. We can then put the size in here, which is 30. If you just like that and type 30, we can go OK to that. Excellent. There's your first shape. We can zoom out and fit that. You can spin and rotate it. What I showed you earlier is that when you create anything in this program, it keeps a running history of it here. So these are the features that have been used to build this model. And one of the cool things about CAD and Fusion in particular is that you can edit these. So if you right click with your mouse on this original sketch and go edit, we can go back and change these sizes. So if you change your mind and say, oh, I want this one here to be 15, it will move that across. I finish my sketch, click on the home, and the design will change. So that's a quick, easy way that you can edit that. If you wish to change the depth of the extrusion, you can go back, right click and edit here, and that will allow you to change the depth of it. That's the real basics of CAD. Build more complex models and some of the other models, especially on the second row of our rectangular shape sheet, we just repeat the process that we have used here. So we can create another sketch. Now, with the sketch tool, we can still draw on those original planes, but we can now draw on these faces of the part. As long as it's a flat face, we can draw a sketch on it. So one of the later designs, we might choose to sketch on this face. We can now also snap our drawings onto these edges. We might want to look at that one there. And then once you've got a closed shape, you can then look to extrude it. I believe that's finished up there. So I can extrude, I can choose a face, and in this particular tutorial later, we're going to look at how we can cut. So you can cut into the part, you can change this from a join, which is a solid, into a cut, choose the depth, and then you can press OK to that. Cool. That gives you a bit of a clue for one of the later designs. Of course, as always, when you create a sketch, you need to make sure you put dimensions on it. And again, at the bottom, these are the features. So I can go back. If I choose, I can delete. Click on delete on the keyboard, or right click here and go delete if something wasn't there that you wanted. And that's it. That's the basics of a model. It's really important that every time you create a design, you save it. You click on save. Provide it a name, and this will save onto the cloud through your Autodesk account, so you can open and access that later. The final little bits and pieces that might help you as well. Once you've created your shape, there's some pretty cool features here where you can apply things like fillets. Fillet's a cool little tool here where you can thin and round corners. So you can choose a series of edges. You might want to choose the perimeter edges of your part, for example, and apply a 3mm radius. But this is a tool used for rounding the corners. There's a whole range of other ones here, and if you have a close look on each of them, there's a good explanation when you hover over them. So it's a very nice little program that gives you some information about the tools. I'd encourage you to try and play and move things. You can change the materials of your parts and the appearances. A lot of cool things in here. If something goes wrong, just go back or delete what you've done. Okay, to finally summarize this, we've modeled that shape quite easily. I'd encourage you to keep trying more of these shapes, and they get harder. The ones on the bottom row need more than one sketch and extrude. The final thing is, it's good as you learn to try and do things well. So good modeling in CAD, it's always good to start your sketch at the origin. It's really important that you dimension your sketches. Where possible, try and use symmetry. If your part's got some symmetry to it, later down the track we can learn to use things like the mirror tool, and we can make parts symmetrical. We can do circular patterns and all kinds of cool things. Really important as you go in your learning as well, always keep your sketches simple. Even the most complex parts require a series of simple sketches and extrudes. So always keep it simple. All the very best with your learning. Look forward to seeing your skills come to life. Cheers.